Hello my dear friend, MLG water bucket clutch. It's one of the most satisfying plays to pull out, and many memorable moments in Minecraft history are those clutches. For example, old Mydoeza water bucket clutch in UHC, which led to this famous quote.
Pearls don't fall faster. Oh!
Or more recent GoodTimeWithScar's water bucket clutch in Double Life series. Having water bucket in your hotbar became mandatory in a survival, in many different minigames and other games, and especially in a hardcore, as it can literally save your world in many occasions. But you see, you're not always able to have or use water bucket. Maybe you just didn't get any iron yet, or you left your water somewhere, or you are in a nether. Unfortunately, water is almost useless for you in a nether, because you can't place it there. You can use it only in a cauldron, if you don't play on Minecraft. Ironically, there is likely the biggest chance of you dying from fall damage or fire where water bucket could save you. So, are there any alternatives which you can use for clutching? Obviously there are. The most popular are probably hay bale and boat, but there are others. Slime blocks, scaffolding, honey blocks, beds, vines, ladders, snow, cobwebs, and even sweet berries could be used for clutching. Well, there is actually one more thing that is in my opinion better than any of those mentioned, and I'm gonna tell you why. It is Twisted Vine. It was added more than 2 years ago in 1.16 nether update, but it seems it slipped everyone's attention. It naturally grows only in a walled forest, but it could be easily farmed. When you get there, it's not a problem to get stack of it, as they grow almost everywhere in walled forest. If you mine it with just your hand or gravity destroys that, you have 33% chance of getting it, but with shears, silk touch or fortune 3, the chance of getting the vine when you mine it is 100%. If you land on that, you won't get any fall damage. It isn't a full block, so you can place it right under yourself. It basically means that it's easier to clutch with it. You see, if you have full blocks like hay bale, slime blocks, honey blocks, it means that you have to be above that block when you're placing it. It does result in hard clutching. As you can see on this 10 blocks high slowdown fall, I could place the hay bale for 0.08 seconds, but the vine I could place for 0.112 seconds. So yeah, it is easier to clutch with the water, scaffolding, cobweb, sweet berries and twisted vine than hay bale and other blocks. Oh, but it's a plant, so you can place it only on ward Nilium, right? Well, no. You can actually place it on almost every single full block. On netherite, grass, stone, glass, netherite block, beacon, soul sand and many other else. Unfortunately, you cannot place it on leaves, honey block and blocks with special shape, such as enchanting table, grindstone, stairs, and obviously on items. But after 1.19, you're not even able to place water on leaves. It will always waterlog. But wait, maybe you knew about all of this, but the reason almost no one is using Twisted Vine is because it has much smaller hitboxes. Am I right? Yes, it has smaller hitboxes. But what does it actually mean? Let's make a quick test. I'll place the vine on this block and position myself just on the edge of the same block and fly high up and fall. I got 0 damage. Let's make the same thing, but now I'll position myself just on the edge of the neighboring block. I died. Now let's make the same test with hay bale, slime block and scaffolding and see what happens. As you can see, it's the same for all of those. Only water, sweet berries and cobwebs have slightly larger hitboxes, so you will survive even if you're not positioned perfectly above them. Nevertheless to say, this isn't really a big deal. Maybe it could happen to you sometimes that you will die because of that, but if you train just a little bit, it would be much easier for you to pulling out this clutch. So, let's compare it to hay bale. It reduces all the damage and it's not a full block, so it's easier to place. However, you cannot place it on every single block. But let's be honest, how many times are you gonna MLG on an enchanting table? And it's a little bit harder to get. There is one more thing I did not talk about. You can climb on it, and it can be also used for clutching. But how exactly? If you fall in lava and start placing it right under yourself as fast as you can, and at the same time you'll be holding space, you'll climb on it if you're fast and lava is not deep enough. Lava will eventually break the bottom vine, so you only have time until that happens. That means it does work better in overworld because lava flows much slower there. But it is possible even in nether. However, it is harder and you need some practice. But as you can see, I'm able to save myself from lava bath in nether without any armor on hard difficulty. I think on the splash fire instance and maybe enderpearl could save me there. And obviously totem of undying. Do you see how fast I died without the vine? There's almost no way for me to survive even with iron armor. So what do you think? Did almost everyone sleep on Twisted Vine, and is it actually a very viable item for clutching? Let me know down in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, it will help me a lot. Thank you so much and see you in another video. Goodbye.